Assalamu alaikum. I am MD Rubiul Hassan Tanbir. Today I am going to presenting on blockchain-based counterfeit medicine authentication system. My co-authors are Nazmul Alam, Fatiha Ishrat, Shada Anjum Shanto, Aisha Rahman and Sabrina Mumtaz. Those are the content of my presentation. Introduction, problem background, motivation, existing works and limitation, design framework, implementation, evaluation, proposed methodology, conclusion, and at the last, reference. Here is the introduction. It is a very big challenge to monitor and keep tracking of genuine medicine in healthcare. Lacking a trust medicine and strong monitoring authority, syndicates can make counterfeit medicine easily. With the shifting of life-critical healthcare, counterfeit medicine authentication is essential for patients' health and business operations. Counterfeiting of several products creates many issues for various manufacturing sectors and causes serious threats to medicine. This is very harmful to public health and also creates profit loss to the pharmaceuticals company. The yearly sales of counterfeit products in the world is $650 billion US dollar, reported on the International Chamber of Commerce of Geneva. In this work, we present a prototype of blockchain system for medicine traceability and regulation that reveal the full service architecture, ensuring authenticity and privacy of traceability data, and meantime achieves a ultimately stable blockchain data storage. Now the problem background. In the traditional supply chain system, there are many ways to alter genuine medicine with counterfeit medicine. There are also some problem with the traceability. We cannot trace supply information in the traditional drug supply chain because there are many phases in the supply chain. Now the motivation. The counterfeiting of medicine causes several threats to society. The counterfeit medicine makes an untoward impression on the health of the people and also causes revenue loss to the legitimate medicine manufacturing establishments. The defective supply chain system is also the reason for counterfeit drugs in the pharmaceuticals industry. Thus, for various anti-counterfeiting techniques have been offered, but most of the existing systems are not good. Blockchain technology is one of the best alternatives in a series where we need data privacy and data access at the same time. Thus, we are attempting to assure the caliber of the drug, the refuse of the transaction, and the surety of the data by using blockchain technology. The existing works and limitations. In one, authors proposed a method of supply chain management system that tracks the drugs pharmaceutical industry to patients' hands. There are some limitations as supply chain management authority cannot provide cybersecurity. In two, authors proposed a model named Drug Ledger that is ensuring the authenticity and privacy of traceability data, but the limitation they do not provide the security in single medicine. And in three, authors proposed a system that can trace the drug scanning RFID code and comparing with distributed file system. But using RFID code is highly cost. In 5, they have discussed on the security and traceability of 23 essential factors, and the most essential factor of adopting blockchain technology in the pharmaceutical industry. Limitations are statistics tool is to use to illustrate the important order of factor based on industry. Now the design framework. The design framework is divided into 3 subsections. Those are medicine supply chain data storage in blockchain, detecting counterfeit medicine, and the last methodology for the prototype. Here is the design framework. Medicine supply chain data storage in blockchain. The design system transaction data storage is similar to Bitcoin transaction data. Each participant has a public key which is shown in the figure. Transaction between each participant shares public key, hash value of previous transaction, encrypted QR code by manufacturer. Manufacturer labels medicine with encrypted QR code which consists of hash values that are generated by a hash function. QR code contains the detail of medicine which is manufactured by drug organizations. The medicine labels ingredients, manufacturing expiry date, quantity on the medicine package taken as input to the CRC32 hashing algorithm. Each medicine has a unique QR code using a hash function to prohibit reused labeling by the manufacturer. The transaction of the supply chain is secure and unshakable for complex algorithms. This design gives the successful validation of the sender's cryptographic signature. Unauthorized parties cannot get access to the data storage due to the public key and sender's digital verified signature. An encrypted QR code prevents the duplication of medicine. Now, the detecting counterfeit medicine. When someone scans the code, it immediately shows the information associated with the medicine from the blocks of this chain. Actual QR code returns an identity number or identity key that will use as an input to the blockchain network. There will run an iteration on the blocks of the chain for finding the medicine associated with the same identity number or key of the input value. If it does not find the desired medicine, it will show that the medicine is not authentic, and if it is found on the blockchain, it will show that the medicine is authentic. But still there remains a security question that QR code reader is available, and it is very much easy to make the same QR code at a short time and put it on the falsified medicine and mixed it to the authentic supply chain. To improve that security, we use the number quantity of medicine stored in the retailer shop. We associate a quantity for every particular type of medicine that will be assigned with the number quantity of medicine from the wholesaler. At the time of customer scanning, it will show the available quantities of the address of the retailer shop. As a result, it will be very easy to detect whether the retailer sells authentic medicine or falsified medicine. As the same way, a retailer also can check the authenticity of a wholesaler's medicine by the time of order. Now, the methodology for the prototype work. The methodology for prototype work is given in figure that is based on a private blockchain system where all the participants have to get validated by the drug administrator. The public address of digital signature of a participant will also be provided by the drug administrator authority. After hence, the participants are trusted on it. Transaction between two participants in the network will consist of the public key of a sender, public key of a receiver, and the transacted information which is sent by the sender, such as basic information and quantity of medicine. The participants' shared information will be encrypted in the block of the chain that can be only shown to the receiver. The quantity and timestamp only be visible to the network that everyone can see on the network. Along with the general information of the transaction, the current location of the transaction also added to the block. When the transaction is successful, a new block will be added to the chain, then it will be distributed to all the participants on the network, and it will repeat in every transaction. We introduce a data reducing process in the blockchain where information of expired medicine will be removed from the network. Finally, a customer can easily scan the QR code to check the validity of the medicine that's shown in the figure. Now the implementation. At present, we developed a prototype mainly with JavaScript and Angular web application framework. We run the prototype on localhost. We use Windows 10 operating system to build and run the prototype. Mainly the project is built on Node.js. Angular web application framework is used for the front-end development. AngularJS is also a JavaScript-based open-source front-end web framework mainly maintained by Google and by a community of individuals and corporations to address many of the challenges encountered in developing single-page application. Now the evaluation. Practicality. The most initial demand for a medicine supply chain traceability system must be its practicality, which might have been neglected in previous works. We designed the prototype for practical medicine supply chain traceability and regulation to trace and track the authentic medicine, as if fraud manufacturers or suppliers cannot mix any kind of counterfeit medicine in the authentic supply chain. First, our prototype maintains data privacy and authentication of the participants. Additionally, the prototype as a blockchain solution first uses the current location of the transactions to its block, which really makes it easy to detect the fraud, distributor, and falsified medicine on the supply chain network. As well as the prototype is very simple to use, there also a user-friendly interface that makes simple and encouraging to use. Finally, we added the single unit of medicine validation checking on the prototype and also proposed an optimized data decreasing process on the blockchain storage, removing the information of expired medicine according to the expired date. Now the security. Our prototype is implemented to be an authorized blockchain system for contrary cyber attack. Drug administrator control the access of participants to the blockchain network. As a result, fraud distributor or retailers cannot make any transaction in the network. Also, participants who are not in the medicine supply chain or retailers with a bad commercial review in medicine supply chain are therefore prohibited to use the blockchain network. Hence, the prototype is secure from those frauds. The prototype is a low possibility of those attacks in respect to existing server-client solution because of the peer-to-peer architecture. Now the efficiency. Mainly, the consequence protocol is the way to determine efficiency of blockchain. The prototype focuses on the practical requirement of medicine supply chain to detect authentic medicine. In this prototype, the communication over with drug administrator, efficiency of consequences algorithm, and the practical throughput requirement of medicine supply chain together decide whether it could be applied in real medicine supply production system. After the implementation of current prototype, quantitative assessment is presented, which will be explained in future work. Now the conclusion. In this paper, we develop a practical blockchain-based secure infrastructure for the medical supply chain among authorized participants on the traditional medicine supply chain. Our application stands on blockchain security to identify the drugs uniquely and individually. Therefore, a falsified medicine or fraud distributor can be identified easily without any complexity. The prototype reconstructs the whole traditional medicine supply chain service architecture that can provide medicine security as well as authenticity of the manufacturer. It also introduced the current location of every transaction that makes the system more reliable. Optimization of blockchain data storage by removing expired medicine data makes the chain stable and acceptable. Here are the references are given. Thanks for watching.